Today we speak to an entrepreneur running a £7.2 million business. It's a family business. He's generation number 2. He's 31 years old and he wants to turn this into a £100 million revenue business. This show is supported by Revolut Business, the all-in-one business account to manage your finances. Whether you've just started out or already running a large company, Revolut Business has got all the tools for you to grow and scale your business. Right, let's get into the big show. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. This is the podcast designed to help grow your business. Today we're speaking to Georgiou. They've got a business called Essential Workwear and Essential Branding. Check them out, essentialworkwear.com. Been going 20 plus years, family business, doing £600,000 a month. For the mathematicians out there, that's 7.2-ish million a year. They've got 50 staff in their business, 30 in production, 20 running the business. Biggest challenge is top-line revenue growth and new customer acquisition. James, how can we scale from acquiring 2,000 customers a year to 10,000 customers a year? How can we acquire more ideal customers that spend £100,000 plus? Second biggest challenge, how to split management time and resources between faster growing but smaller workwear division and larger but flatlining promo division that still makes the bulk of our revenue. Okay, so I think there's sort of different key revenue streams. Third biggest challenge is team, culture, HR issues, pay, keeping everyone happy, motivated, well-trained and focused as we grow and expand. I asked them this, where do you want to be in 1 year's time? And they said workwear division growing at 50% year on year. Promo division is stabilised with 5% growth, net profit 5% plus with a line to get to the 10% in the coming years. 2 to 3 potential M&A deals in discussion. It's funny, isn't it? There's people running these massive businesses just looking for 5% net profit. This is how tough it is. What will your business look like when it's finished? He said a 50 to 100 million pound business revenue with a 10% net profit, diversified beyond our current market, no one customer making up more than 3% of revenue. I like that a lot. A strong balance sheet ready to capitalise on opportunities, a leader in AI application to manufacturing. I like all that. That was good, Chuds. I like those little things to say there. I asked him, do you make the profit that you want to make? If so, what is it? He said, no. Last year has been tight due to increased overhead costs and slightly decreased top-line revenue. It's really interesting that so many people running multi-million pound businesses like this just about paying themselves and making a small profit. It's grossly unfair. And you need to have profit to invest back into the business and grow. I asked him, how do you spend your day-to-day time on the business? He said 70% on the business. This is marketing, training, recruitment, product development, systems and processes. 30% of my time in the business, generally large custom order pricing, problems, issues that need sorting. So there's a dose of being the superhero of the business. And then he's got some questions he'd like to ask me. Welcome, ladies and gents, back to this business broadcast. I'm looking forward to having this conversation. Louis seems like a very nice guy. Spent 2 years travelling around Canada. Spent a few years working in a marketing agency, then decided to come and help Dad grow the business. He said he had a wonderful time in Canada and decided that coming working for Daddykins was a better move rather than being a bum internationally. There you go. Would you ever do that? Yeah.
That was quite a direct word for somebody that travels.
Yeah.
An international
bum. I think if you haven't, I asked him, you haven't loved time? I said, time of my life. Come back here and break even.
Yeah, but the time of your life can't be forever, can it?
No, I suppose not, Chuds. Why would anyone want to do that? Because happiness is just a little bit boring.
Well,
I've noticed when I do the knock on the door over there, the microphone doesn't pick it up.
Okay, smart.
So here we go. Here's a knock on the door.
Should we get you a tiny little door?
Oh, that'd be great. Please put that on the notes.
Okay.
Oh, I think we should actually get a door knocker on a plinth that we can just bring in on wheels.
What? What?
People will love that. You know, like a door knocker on a mini door, but it needs to be on wheels so we can bring it in. So I can do it on the...
Okay, I'm struggling to visualise a door on a plinth. You mean so you don't have to hold it?
Yeah.
And you push it out and bring it in?
Yeah.
This is a lot. Just for a 2-second joke. This is a lot.
But people respect the knock on the door. Right, anyway, there's a knock on the door, gang. It's time for this.
Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
I'll tell you something that is interesting. James Sinclair has discovered this app that we're using in marketing called Magnifique. Have you heard of this app?
I have.
It's a video processing app. And last night, Michael Chudley, between the hours of 9 and midnight, got sent probably 25 different videos. I mean, I made a little video link for interesting facts or quote of the week. You didn't mind it, did you?
Do you want me to put it on screen now?
Yeah,
it's just not in theme or on brand, or it's just a thing that doesn't fit into this right now, but I think it's a very good start.
Yeah. Basically, I was watching a really lovely podcast I love with Robert Peston and this bird called Steph. Shouldn't say bird, should I? But this lady called Steph. And I think it's called The Rest is Money. And they just talk about economic stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they have, when they break, they have these little 2-3 second overlay sections. So I just designed one for the interesting fact or quote of the week.
It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
So there we go. There's that. Just to break it down for you viewers so you know what's coming up. Right. Well, we haven't really got an interesting fact or quote here.
Interesting story.
A little interesting story, which we seem to be putting more and more of these in. Now, I was thinking about this. I would like you to ask me a question, Chuds. And the question that I'm going to preload to you is, name 10 of the world's most famous footballers. Now, this is coming. I'm going to answer this, but knowing that James Sinclair isn't a massive football fan.
You can get 10 though, right?
Well, go on, ask me the question.
Okay. How many famous footballers can you name?
David Beckham, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, Michael Owen, Alan Shearer, Jordan Pickford, Declan Rice. And now I'm struggling. Maradona, is he the one that done the famous save like on handstands?
Save? He scored?
Oh, he scored?
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah.
That's 8.
8. Oh, who's the funny lanky guy? I love him. And
Come
he's got
on,
a really
you can get
attractive
it.
wife that I used to date.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love him.
All right,
Peter Crouch.
Yeah,
Peter Crouch.
One more.
But the point is, I'm really struggling to think past the big
You can't
three.
even name a starting 11. You've named 10 players. Well, you've named 9 so far. Come on, one more. Go.
Jordan Pickford, I did say.
Yeah.
One more.
Come on, just think about the England squad right now.
John Terry.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Kane wasn't going to be in there.
Yeah,
Bellingham wasn't going to be in there.
Yeah. I would have remembered that.
Anyway, yeah, you did it.
But the three that always, I was thinking, who are the most famous international football players of all time? So would you agree with me that David Beckham, Messi and Ronaldo are probably at the moment those are the three?
Yeah, probably.
And so it came up on my Instagram and I started doing this little research of this story. So in 2007, he left Real Madrid at 31 to join LA Galaxy in MLS. What does MLS stand?
Major League Soccer.
Major League Soccer. So this is, soccer is still not the biggest sport in America. It's American football is the big one, isn't it? And then
I think so. Basketball's massive.
And then what's the other one? The like
baseball.
Baseball. But soccer is massively growing in America, isn't it?
I think so, a little bit. The World Cup would have helped.
World Cup would have helped. So he was on a base salary back in 2007 of $6.5 million a year because he took a 70% pay cut from $18 million at Madrid. The press called it career suicide and it was widely seen as a retirement move. But this contract that he signed with LA Galaxy had 2 key clauses. He would get a revenue share, a percentage of all Galaxy revenue, that's tickets, merchandises, concessions, sponsorships. No athlete had ever secured terms like that. Then he had the expansion option, the right to buy the expansion team for a fixed fee of $25 million after retirement, never offered to anyone before. That the immediate impact. Galaxy had 11,000 new season ticket holders within days of the announcement before he'd even played a minute of football. Now, remember, he gets a share of all of that because of what we said previously. His jersey became the fastest selling in Major League Soccer history. This is MLS just in America, is it?
Yeah, it's like the Premier League in the UK. MLS is in America.
Fine.
Or Northern America.
The first game drew 66,000 fans to a stadium that normally held 12,000. I mean, it's impressive stuff. TV ratings tripled. Sponsorships deals followed. And then they had a league-wide effect. MLS created the Beckham rule, designated player rule, letting teams sign stars above the salary cap. The league, which nearly collapsed in 2002, began growing rapidly. Franchise values climbed. The payoff at Galaxy, by 2012, 2 MLS championships, revenue sharing clause repeatedly earned him $50 million annually, triple his Madrid salary. Right. Fast forward to 2014, he exercised his 25 million expansion option, so he bought the club. New franchisees were paying 8 to 13 times that to enter the league, so done very well out of that. Nearly 6 years of setbacks, stadium deals collapsed, funding partners churned, but sort of coming through it. 2020, Inter Miami played its first game, valued at $600 million within 2 years, a 2,200% return on his $25 million invested. Summer 2023, he then signed one of those other players that we was talking about earlier, Lionel Messi, over Barcelona and Saudi offers. Post Messi, the valuation doubled overnight to $1 billion plus. Revenue jumped from 60 million to 200 million. Social media following went 550% up and ticket prices climbed 1,000%.
What a story.
What a story. David Beckham obviously is a smart chap, isn't he? Yeah, for that silly little voice, he obviously does that he's doing. Although his voice is nowhere near as annoying now, is it? He's grown into it. And he's still, I don't mind saying this, as a heterosexual man, he's a very attractive man, isn't he? He just looks fantastic all the time. If he could sort the voice out, I reckon he could be the next Bond.
Past it now, isn't he?
Well, maybe,
For
yeah.
Bond? He's too
My
fair.
name's Bond. James Bond. It's not going to work, is it? But there we go.
Forget about the acting skills.
Yeah, forget about the acting skills. But he's done very, very well. And he's obviously a very, very wealthy man. I wonder if Victoria, they're a powerhouse couple, aren't they? I mean, I'm sure there's something to do with...
Interesting
quote here. You become the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. She comes from a very wealthy family, very business-driven family. I'm sure that's rubbed off on him. Although I do believe her Victoria Beckham clothing range still hasn't made a profit and has hemorrhaged tens of millions of United States dollars. Have you got anything for us, Chance?
No, that was good. I like that. What's
good.
interesting, if you were to put money on starting a football team or starting a clothing brand,
Yeah.
you'd probably think the clothing brand would be not the easier route, but it's probably going to be a success over starting a football team, unless your name is David Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
Then starting a football team is not a bad shout.
What do we always say? Rare and protected forms of leverage. David Beckham
Has all of them.
He's got access to capital, access to fame, access to talent. I mean, Lionel Messi went there definitely because he could pick up the phone, has his mobile number and says, hey, do you want to get involved? I mean, so he's got too much rare and protected forms of leverage.
Starting a football team that's got to be an impossible task.
Yeah.
Like Inter Miami, it's just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless you're David Beckham.
And I think most of the UK football teams lose money, don't they? And they're funded by outside revenues. So that was a very good little story there. Shall we get ready to speak to today's guest? Please welcome live onto the show, Louis from Essential Workwear and Essential Branding. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you.
In your own words, can you give us 30 seconds? What is your business?
Yep, so I'm from Essential Workwear and Essential Branding. We are a supplier of corporate promotional and workwear clothing. So that's any sort of clothing with an embroidered or printed logo applied to it. We kind of have 2 separate divisions to the business. We've got our workwear and uniform division, where we sell online and we sell directly to businesses, and that focuses on workwear and uniforms. And then we've got our promotional merchandise division, which again is still selling branded clothing, but for a marketing or promotional use. And there we don't sell direct to the end customer, we sell through third-party distributors. And then finally, we also have a subsidiary in Europe. So we work with a partner factory in Poland to also supply our clients all throughout Europe and avoid any duties shipping between the UK and the EU.
Okay, got it. What's your gross profit? Do you know that? What do you sort of work to in that world?
our gross profit. So for the two different divisions, it's slightly different. For the workwear division, we're running around a 40% gross profit. For the promo division, we're around a 28% gross profit.
So you blend it together about 34% sort of thing.
Yes. Yep.
Well, that's why it's tough, isn't it?
Yep.
And then out of that, are you paying out of the 34% of your production staff being paid out of that, or before the gross profit?
They're paid before the gross profit. So our production staff are in our cost of sales.
What is it? What, just out of interest, because you must have a big warehouse and stuff. What's your rent and rates and like that sort of cost to run that?
We own our unit.
Yeah.
But we did an exercise recently looking at what a market rate would be if we were to find somewhere else like ours, and it could be between 180, 200 grand a year.
So if you were paying rent, would you be losing money?
We kind of account for it in our accounts. So we would be breaking even at that sort of thing. We kind of try and keep the rent a realistic figure for it.
It is tough, isn't it, to make money in these times?
It is.
What's your electric bill a month?
I don't know exactly. I don't know off the top of my head.
Have you got machines going all the time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because it's a little thing here.
Interesting quote.
We had a big interesting fact or quote of the week a few weeks ago about the utility prices in the UK being 35% more than France. You know, like, how do you do? You know, that it gets to a point you go, why are we doing this? You know, and I just
Hasn't Andy Burnham announced something to do with VAT?
only on residential. So he's taking the VAT off for residential.
It was already 5% anyway, right?
Yeah. So it's
I see the word VAT in the news, and then I think of you straight away, and I'm like, oh, maybe
it's going to save you £45 a year per home, roughly. Wow.
No comment.
What are we going to do? And that's one extra Nando's a year. I mean, come on. Yeah, but manufacturing for British business is, business is just going, well, let's not manufacture in the UK because our utility costs are now such a factor. You know, it's not, I mean, the labour costs, yes, but the utility costs.
For us, it's the labour costs. So those
I get it, baby.
Ones,
I get it.
It's because the national insurance made no sense. I know you've said it so many times before, but it's just crazy. And the amount of money that leaves our bank account to then go, and the amount that then actually goes direct into, say, our team's bank account, the amount the government is skimming off both ends.
Oh, I know.
Crazy.
It is crazy. Do you dread payrolls?
I don't dread payrolls, no. Luckily, my parents built a good, solid business. So we've got a strong balance sheet. We can handle the cash flow swings. But my dad has said 10, 15 years ago, it was more of a, it could be tighter more often.
Yeah. Well, because have you paid the mortgage off on the building that you're in and all that?
I think so. It's soon. I don't know exactly it's his building, but I know it is.
No, but that's the thing, Louis. Dad's done a generation of work, hasn't he? Or maybe a generation and a bit. And, you know, it is unbloody fair. And that's what I really worry about young people. Not that I want this to become all bloody political here, but, you know, it's like young people, like the generation before me, it does seem that, you know, where these people have bought, I don't know what your dad bought that warehouse for and what it's worth today, you know, that he's probably made significant gains on that. And if you had to buy that warehouse today, like where would the company get the deposit from? And it is devilishly difficult. Right. Okay. Well, look, where do you want to be in? And I actually like some of you've obviously had some good training here. Not many people talk about this to this level. Workwear division growing at 50% year on year. I mean, come on. Who are you? Steve Jobs. Look, you really do want some stuff down there, don't you? Promo division stabilised with 5% growth. And it was interesting that your net profit at 5%, most people, I mean, that's most accurate businesses are doing between 2 and 5%. Most people always want more than that. So you're obviously someone that knows the real nuts and bolts of business, but you'd like to get it to 10%. I suppose if you got it to 7, 8, 10 million turnover, the aim is to try and retain £1 million. Is that what you?
Yeah. And I think as well, since I've joined the business, we put a lot of work in to be more scalable. As in, we've put all of our management systems in place, better teams in place, all of that. We've done a lot of work over the last few years, and we could easily do the work of 8, 9 million now. It's just the past couple of years have been tougher, that the top line revenue hasn't quite come in what we would have liked.
Do you and Dad argue?
No, we don't argue. We can sometimes be we get our points across to each other. I think we're both quite passionate, but we don't argue.
Do you have clearly defined roles in the business?
Pretty much, yes.
So what would Dad's job title be, and what would your job title be, removing owner from it?
So it's our job titles. He would say still be managing director. I'm operations director at the moment. That's probably within the next couple of years will probably change. That he'll be more chairman, and I will move into that MD role. But right now, at the moment, any big decision we have together, but he's the one that signs something off. So if we'll go back and forth, but he'll make that final decision if it's something big, because a lot of the day to day I'm doing that. But if we're thinking, if I say found an acquisition opportunity, brought it to the table, all discussed it, put in our things about it, ultimately right now he would be the one that would have the final say, yes or no.
I get that. Can I ask you a question? What do you think is Dad's biggest strength and his weakest area, and the same for you?
Okay, good question.
And he's going to listen to this. Hello, Dad.
Yeah,
hello, Dad. Do you first? What's your biggest strengths and what's your weaknesses?
My biggest strength, it revolves around, say, like vision, product development, being able to see something in the future.
Good.
And
so you're a vision,
chart a path to make that happen.
Louis, if I asked you, are you more entrepreneur or more manager?
Definitely more entrepreneur, I think. Yeah.
Right, let's go. Let's do Dad then. What's Dad? More entrepreneur or more manager?
He's definitely more entrepreneur as well. We're quite similar in a lot of ways. So yeah, he can definitely have a vision and make it happen.
Is he still ambitious?
Are
you still both ambitious?
Yeah. He is still ambitious. He's often said me joining the business has kind of helped relight the fire a little bit.
Oh, that's good. Let me ask you this though. But you must have weaknesses. So what are both your weaknesses? What would you say, Dad? You're not very good at this, and Louis, I'm not very good at this. Come on, I want to
know. My weakness definitely comes around just day-to-day administration, maybe sometimes following up on things, or around that. I'll focus on what I want to focus on, but sometimes
That's
the
good.
stuff that I
That's
just
not
want to
weakness.
do.
I just
It's,
buy in some administration. That's the cheapest thing you can buy in. No, go and get some customers. I mean, the thing I was thinking about this here, I sort of was trying to get words in our mouth. Biggest challenge is to top line revenue growth. Like, really, what I would be trying to do is saying, I'm Louis and I'm now the chief sales and marketing officer of this business, and that's all I'm going to focus on. Dad, can you
so
focus on ops?
you ask for weakness. This isn't necessarily a weakness, but I'm not an extroverted person.
Why
People
does that matter?
development. Just there's better salespeople than me. So we do have a head of sales who I work very closely with. But to say that I would be the head of sales or chief salesperson, I don't think that's putting my best strengths forward. I think my skills would lie more in marketing
Yeah,
than
fine.
actual scale,
How
than
much time do you
actual
spend
sales.
a week on marketing?
Probably at least 50% of my time, or even if I'm not doing it, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are you getting good results?
yes, it's yes. Yeah, no, we do get good results. It could be faster, but we do
What's the
get good
bottleneck? What's
results.
causing it to slow down?
The biggest hit that we've had recently, in our workwear division, we did really well, on Google SEO, and it peaked around the end of 2024, and it has slowly declined ever since then. It
Are you
might
doing
turn
ads?
around. Pardon?
You're doing
Yeah,
Google
we do
ads?
ads. Yeah, we do ads.
Just let's have a little
Um,
interest because so £7.2 million revenue business. What do you spend on ads a year to make that happen with Google Letter?
it was between like 60 and 70K a year,
Oh, I
but
think that's cheap.
that's mainly for the workwear division, which it's a £2 million division. So the 60 to 70K is on for 2 million turnover.
And if you spend more, do you see an increase in orders?
Um, yes, but the payback is over 2 or 3 years.
Because I
So
suppose once you've got a customer, they just keep coming back.
yes, yeah,
And do you have someone, if it was my business, I'd probably have someone on the road talking to customers.
yes,
Do you have that?
yes.
Okay.
So we have someone for both divisions of the business. For the workwear division and the promo division, we have external salespeople for both those divisions.
One in each division?
Yep.
Probably everyone that I know that does sales well, they have two people so they can create competition between the two and say, right, what's your sales this week? What's your sales this week? And it usually makes, you get, rather than 2 times, you get 3 times because human beings are quite competitive. And if they know someone else is doing better, but you got to be, you got to find the right people. This is the problem. You can get loads of salespeople that are rubbish, that just go,
Yeah.
I haven't got enough leads. I haven't got enough leads. I haven't had enough. But you have to create your own leads sometimes, don't you? The second biggest challenge: how to split management time and resource between faster growing but smaller workwear division and larger but flatline promo division that makes up the bulk of our revenue. I mean, the workwear thing is where you want to be because there's more money in that. Is that right?
Yes, but that's not to say we don't want to be in promo, but that's where we definitely see our future. It's a bigger market, more resilient market, better customer mix, better customer concentration,
I mean,
all of those things.
you're already doing it. You just got to go and buy some, haven't you? Because that's the quickest way to do it. It's the cheapest way to do it. It's usually guaranteed. Yeah, I see you got 2 to 3 potential mergers and acquisitions deals in the pipeline. Exciting.
Yeah. So after coming to your seminar, I sent out letters, had a few conversations. Nothing's gone further than that, but it's a step in the right direction.
One of the things that I always tell people, even if you don't buy the company, just spending your time going and seeing people that do what you do in different areas of the country. And have you been to their locations and had meetings with them?
Not yet, no.
Because that's where the real magic happens. You'll pick up things and you go, bloody hell, that's a good thing. We're not doing that. That will save us 50 grand a year. And those consultancy that you get by being around people that do what you do is really powerful, Louis. You might find they're doing a particular marketing thing that generates them loads of money and you're like, oh, we haven't done that.
Yeah. No, we always try whenever we can get to other factories that do what we do. My dad and I, we do a trip to America every year. There's a big trade show in America, and when we go, as we've been going a few years now, you get to know people. We've been to some of their factories. It's learned so much from that.
Look at your third biggest challenge here: team culture, HR issues, pay. Is it just because you can't charge your customers more, so therefore you can't pay your team anymore? Is that the sort of bottleneck?
Well, just look, and this isn't. We've got a fantastic team. Really pleased and fortunate and grateful for everyone on our team. But really, everyone deserves to be paid more.
Yeah, but do you feel you can't do it because
it wouldn't? It wouldn't be feasible.
No, I get it.
And
I absolutely get it. You can't charge an extra £5 for the T-shirt, can you? You just can't do it because people go, well, I'll go elsewhere. You're commoditized to a degree, yeah.
And it's just there's always something
that breaks, that needs cash.
Or there's always just that it's there's always something, there's always an issue or problem somewhere, and you fix one and you move on to the next. It's like kind of whack-a-mole.
No, I know. I do think it's always going to be there, though. I think it's always going to be there. If you're a business owner, now is the time to get serious about growing your business. Look at this amazing venue that I'm in. This is where I'm holding Business Masterclass, designed for entrepreneurs and business owners that are here, that want to get to there. They want to find out about raising finance, buying companies, commercial property, all the things that I've learned over the last 20 years, condensed into 2 days for serious growth. Come on, let's have a look around. Now, if you're like me, you'll know that when you get out of your regular environment, you start to think differently. And that's a very good thing. See, at this event, we're going to be in a room with a couple of other 100 entrepreneurs that are very successful, that are very ambitious, that want to move the lever forward. See, this isn't some happy-clappy training event. It's for entrepreneurs that want to build commercially profitable enterprise. And I want you to build your business so good that someone knocks on your door and says, hello, I'd like to buy your business. Which begs the question on, who is this event for? Who is it really for? But first, let me tell you who this event is not for. It's not for the people that sit in the blame, excuse and denial camp. It's for the great British entrepreneur that believes in growth, that wants to be better than they are, that wants to take their business to the next level, and dare I say it, become something bigger than them. It's for those that want to build commercially profitable enterprises with great teams. I'm so passionate about this event, and do you know what? I'm so sure that we can be the missing parts of your puzzle in your vision, your destination for business. That if you come along to this event and you think, do you know what? I haven't had 10, 20, 30 times value, then I want to give you your money back. That's my 100% guarantee that when you get in this room, you'll learn stuff that will take your business to the next level, and you'll meet some amazing people. We only have great people come through our events, and I'd like you to be one of them. So if you're an action taker, you want to grow your business, you want to build that commercially profitable enterprise, get your ticket to Business Masterclass, and I'll help you grow your business. Let's move on to the cauldron of conundrums, and you asking some questions of me. You've got some questions here that you'd like to ask. Can you remember what they are? Do you want me to read them out?
I can't remember exactly. No, where I should have.
James, should I be thinking about diversifying beyond our current industry or doubling down and staying focused on being the market leader? That's difficult for me to answer without spending decent time in your business. Are you being coached or mentored by anyone?
Yeah, I was. I was in a peer group for 3 years. I have just stepped out of it
to join James Sinclair's Accelerator. That's where you need to be, baby.
So that was really good. I did it for 3 years. I felt like it started to get maybe some diminishing returns. Wanted to just maybe have a break for a year, and I'll likely go back to it. But I guess the question is more around. There's always so much more you could do. Like there's almost infinite opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's just knowing.
I think I would, for me to answer that, I don't know, is there a hungry audience for the thing that these other opportunities? And if there is a hungry audience, if it falls under the camp of easy, difficult rather than difficult, they're the thing. Right, I'm trying to look for the unfair advantages to answer that question, and without spending hours with you, I wouldn't know that. So if you told me, yeah, well, look, we've got an opportunity and we can generate 10 million quid really easy. There's loads of gross profit in it. There's an untapped opportunity. They keep coming back. If all of those things, like it's tick, 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 then I think I would look at it. If it then falls under that, it's low gross profit, it's going to take loads of my energy to get it going, it might be better to do more of the same and expand on more of the same. I appreciate I've probably given you a political answer there, and I've sort of wheedled out of it, but I'm just saying that's where my brain would go. Question number 2, you said, do you have advice for a second generational family member taking the business over from the first generation founder? My dad still has a final say on strategic calls. How do I make the balance of power happen naturally? Well, I think you should have board meetings as a family, and you should have a non-exec go in there. That's what big family businesses do. Maybe your accountant could sit there quarterly meetings with you and you just pay for them to come in. But those board meetings monthly would be so much more ideal. But someone that's not in the family, say I was it, which I won't do, by the way, but I would just say, no, Dad, I think you're being out of order here. You want someone that's going to really play a devil's advocate position, or as I like to say, devil's avocado position, to really ask both Dad and you the awkward questions.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's why you and Dad should definitely consider having a call with Bob, who's a qualified accountant now, who's head of Accelerator. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to do that for you just to see if you like it on me. A little freebie. Chuds will line that up for you because, Bob could Zoom call into your board meetings and just listen to what you and Dad are saying. And because he's a qualified accountant, he'll give you, he has no agenda, or you want someone that has no agenda other than the business. Not Louis's agenda, not Dad's agenda, but the success of the business's agenda, which I know obviously benefits you and Dad, but you want someone that really has that devil's advocate position.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they should be good enough that they annoy Dad a bit and they annoy you a bit.
Yeah.
Your dad should be walking out there going, I've started this bloody business. Who's this bloody non-exec person having his 2 pence and just sticking up for Louis. And I want you to walk out there and going, this person probably just does whatever Dad says. You know, like you both should feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of awkwardness, and then that moves things forward. You know, sorry, I just dropped my pen. That does move things forward. They should be slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
not to the point that it's annoying. You know, I'm trying to. Once you have a non-exec, their job is to ask the awkward questions, or pose the awkward conversation, and hold both of you to account. And that's why it's really important in family business that we have clearly defined roles. And that's why I was asking you earlier. I said, no, Dad's really entrepreneurial. Louis is really entrepreneurial. Really great businesses need E plus M equals S, as you know, the thing that I preach. And I was sort of angling is one of you more of a manager and one of you more of an entrepreneur. Eventually, if you want to be running this £10 million plus business, you're going to have an MD in there that you and Dad serve effectively. And that's what really good family businesses will have. You know, they'll have someone in the business from a leadership point of view that isn't a family member.
Okay.
And that could be an FD eventually, you know, someone, you know, really good, you know, stinking hot, good accountant that will just wind you up a little bit, but it'll push the business forward. Okay, but we're going to ask you some questions now in our new section, which we're calling the Cauldron of Conundrums. We're going to have a cauldron eventually, Louis, but for today, I'm going to pull out a question. We're going to have some new ones soon as well, I hear, aren't we, Chuds? What part of the business currently depends too heavily on you, Louis?
I honestly, I don't think there is one that. Maybe IT.
IT, there we go.
Yeah, IT, there it is.
He's Chief Technological Officer, he's Chief Marketing Officer, he's Chief Operations Officer, he's Chief Fishery Officer. He is Super Louis. Here he comes as he walks down the stairs, solving your computer problems, I understand. What part of the business feels the least predictable or hardest to control right now?
Sales.
I don't think, can I just say, for a 7.2 million turnover business, I think only spending £60,000 on ads seems like a missed opportunity there, in my opinion.
But that's just the workwear division.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you spend on the other side, but I mean, I think, I would be doing direct mail.
We do trade shows. We do about 3 or 4 trade shows a year. I mean, we've got a much smaller customer set in the promo division. It's much more about just developing those customers. Spend a lot more on our website, systems and processes.
Oh, look at this question here. What is the marketing tactics or the marketing that you have done that's delivered the best results for you so far?
One of the best things we've done, and I call it marketing, it is we implemented call tracking, say for our customer service team. So we get transcripts of all of the calls coming in.
Lovely.
And just doing proper training. Everyone answers the phone in a set way, asking the right questions.
Who do you use for that?
We use a platform called What Converts. So then it also tracks when we get phone calls come in, where those people came from to our website.
Can I just I want to give you a round of applause for that, because something that I always used to do was record our calls and listen to the calls whilst driving along and then put direct feedback in. And I haven't done that for well over a decade, and it was one of the best things that I ever done. And that, what you've just said there, anyone listening to this podcast, listening to the calls, taking the transcripts, then putting that into training, I think if a lot of business owners sat and just earwigged on conversations that team members were having with customers, I think they'd get the ump very, very quickly. And I just think what you might have just said there is one of the most powerful things for material change that any listener can have that we've ever said on this podcast, and it probably has just been brushed over. And I congratulate you on saying that.
What converts? The platform's what converts. It's been brilliant. We've been using it for about 18 months now. It really makes a difference.
And they just listen to your calls, bish bash bosh, you make extra dosh.
It listens to the call. It sends an email after the call, and it uses AI, so it gives a transcript. I mean, it is really useful if someone like says their email and you sometimes hard to know what letters they're saying. You can go to the transcript. Just makes it really easy to find that information.
Wow. But it would just, not that the world should be Big Brother, but, you know, human beings do need a bit of positive pressure. You know, you put a security guard at the front of a shop, do you know what? You get less theft. And I think if your team know that the calls are being actively listened to, they step up 5%. They just do. I've got a question for you. Dad's been running this business for how many years?
28 years.
28 years. So you were 3 when he started it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know how Dad done this?
How did you get your first customer? How'd you get the...
How'd you get your first customer? Do you know how you did it?
I don't know exactly the first.
Can you ask
one,
Dad?
no.
Can you ask Dad? Because
Yeah.
the reason I want you to do that is I just want to. Usually that's a very good form of marketing, and most businesses stop doing it. It's a regular thing on the pod. So if you can just ask.
I believe it was a recommendation. So I know that, and also you said, I just want to put this in for the record because I know you said Dad a lot, but it's also Mum as well.
Hello,
Both
Mum.
of them.
Hello, Mum.
that it wouldn't be where it was without.
Let's give Mum a round of applause.
Yeah.
Hello, Mum. Super Mum. What does Mum do in the business?
She is fully retired now. She comes in.
Get her back
every now
in.
and then.
Boo. Get her back in the firm.
She does still come in maybe once every other week.
Hey. No, that's good. That's good. Are you gonna? Is it because you know Mum and Dad are both gonna listen to this? Yeah. He's covering himself. Right. Well, look. If someone wants to buy some workwear, where do they go, my friend? Come on, pitch the business.
Essentialworkwear.com, and there's many people in our industry, but what we really focus on, we've got a fantastic website, but it's backed up by brilliant people on the other end.
Oh, bless you.
So
And whereabouts in the country are you?
we're in Dunstable, just outside of Luton.
Just outside of Luton, everyone's favourite airport. That airport. I'm not happy with that airport. It's terrible.
It's getting expanded though. There's a lot going on in Bedfordshire.
Go on,
new-
Bedfordshire. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Got the new Universal UK.
Oh,
being
yeah.
built.
That's true. That's true.
Transformative.
He's going to be the MP for the town. You are, aren't you? Right. Okay. That's essentialworkwear.com. Right. It's now time for Guess the Company. Chance is going to spin the tombola. You're playing along over there, Louis. Do you know this section of the podcast?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a random company. I don't know what it is. Mark Chudley doesn't know what it is.
16.
29.
29.
29, feeling fine. Then we're going to rate you, Louis. Yeah, we have to let you go for that. Right, inside the black envelope of death. Right, so we've got a green folder. Okay, this company owns a portfolio including the Ivy Collection, the Ivy Asia, Harry's Dolce Vita, Harry's Bar, the Brasserie of Light. The company has held advanced talks with investors, including Abu Dhabi royal-backed entity, over a potential $1 billion sale of the collection. In 2024, the group reported revenues of $327 million, but posted a £7.3 million loss and reduced staff by over 300 across the year.
All of that revenue, no profit.
Don't open restaurants, gang. Even the best restaurants. I mean, the Ivy is just one of my favourites. I think they also own Annabelle's. The guy that owns it is about 904. I know that. And he's definitely had some plastic surgery.
Is that Annabelle's or that collection?
I think that's part of the collection as well.
Okay.
I think it might be called the Ivy Group or Annabelle's.
I was thinking just the Ivy, the Ivy Group.
Do you know what it is, Louis?
No, I'm not sure. It's obviously a big restaurant chain group.
Owned by
but
one
I'm not
man.
sure.
Can we put a picture of him up on the screen, Chuds? Because his girlfriend's like a quarter of his age. You know, it's one of those. And he dresses very eccentrically, just to give people some ideas. So I'm going to go for the Annabelle's Group or the Ivy Group, something of that. It's called the Ivy Collection. So, yeah. Well done. Louis, you didn't really get involved, did you there? So
I've got an interesting quote or fact for you, though.
Oh, hang on a sec. There's a knock on the door. Here we go.
Interesting quote or fact.
Just hold. Wait for the jingle to finish. Go for it.
So there is a company that they have a 50% market share on the worldwide cashew market. You know the company. But
it's called Costco.
Do you know what it is?
Costco.
Huh? Costco, yeah.
You can't do me on the Costco facts, Louis. I know all the Costco facts.
It's brilliant. Like when I found out, to 50%.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
And do you know what? In my camper van, I've got a bag of salted cashew nuts from Costco, and I've been trying to munch my way through them for about 18 months. The bag is like that, and I just grab a handful on a big journey, and the bag never seems to disappear. It's like the sorting hat at Harry Potter. Like, you can just keep pulling cashews out of there and the cashews remain. But it's got a nice Ziploc thing at the top, so they stay nice and fresh. I do like a salted cashew. Some people have plain cashews, and I go, no, don't do that.
Healthy people.
Sorry, a little bit of salt doesn't hurt, does
Just
it?
a little bit of salt.
As long as you're not going to KFC, McDonald's levels of salt. A little bit of salt is not so bad. Apparently, sea salt is actually very good for you, by the way. It's the man-made sodium salt, which is what they cover in cashews. That's the stuff that's very bad for you. Some people have salt water, don't they?
Welcome to the Health Podcast with James Sinclair.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. Why would you not listen to this bad boy? When you see me walk, you're thinking, that is a picture of health. No, I'm struggling.
How is your walking?
Well, thank you for mentioning my knee, because I don't talk about it. No, I slipped again at the weekend. Can you believe it? I slipped on a bloody dog bowl and I went flying. It bloody hurts again. But look, you can't get out of this, Louis. I know you want to get out of the rating and you don't want us to rate you, but we've got to rate you. You can't keep talking about me.
You're going to rate me. I hope I get an 8 out of 8. I don't know where I've shown my resilience.
I don't think.
You don't give 8 out of 8.
Whoa, no, that's not true. There's been a couple. There's been a couple of 8 out of 8, but it's not going to be you. But I think, but I think you'll score very well. But you have to wait 6 months for this podcast to come out.
It's 6 months.
No, it's not. No.
It actually might be the next one. Yeah.
It might be the next one because we're a little bit behind. So you won't have to wait long. So let's do that. Ladies and gents, Louis goes with our love. Goodbye, Louis. Thank you very much for being on the podcast. What a guy. I like him, Chuds.
Yeah, lovely.
It's now time to rate. Should we do the business model or the rates?
Do the model and then rate him.
Okay, we're doing the model, then we're going to rate him. So we've got model overall. We've got marketing return on investment. We've got margins. He told us all of this stuff. And then, is it easy to get management in the business? Where do you put the management, actually? I think it's pretty easy to get people to manage that business. So should we give that an 8 out of 10?
Pretty established space, isn't it?
Margin, 33%, not great. I think we give that a 4 out of 10. Return on investment on your marketing, I think you do get quite good returns, but I think it's fickle. If you put your prices up, people will just go elsewhere. So we'll give that a 6 out of 10. And the overall model, I think it is always going to be around, but the margins are not great. I think we'll give that a 6 out of 10. So 12, 24 out of 40.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Better than some.
We'll write it up for those. We've got a little paddle now because we're like Strictly Come Dancing. 24 out of 40. There we go. 24 out of 40. Right, let's now do the 8 traits of the greats. Starting with the end in mind. He gets one for that. Passionate about his cause. Is he passionate about it?
He left Canada to return home, didn't he?
All right, we'll give him that then. Untold amounts of resilience. Has he been tested?
No, his dad probably has, but
his dad, he definitely has if he's been going 28 years. They master relationships with people. Yeah, I think he was very nice. Commercial awareness, I was impressed. He did know his stuff. They innovate so they don't evaporate. I do think he's doing that. Is he a master marketeer?
considering he worked at a marketing agency previously, he should be.
They stay teachable and curious. I think he is that.
That's a very good score.
I'm not happy about it. Ladies and gents, he nearly...
Go on, get the paddle out.
I mean, that is a very, very good score. It's a 7, ladies and gents. 7 out of 8. He's off to entrepreneurial heaven. We very rarely say it. It's a 7. He's off to entrepreneurial heaven. Begs the question, with his skill set, if he was in a better model, he'd make a lot more money, but he's tied there to the family business. But he could improve the model. He knows that he could scoop that up a little bit. How do you make it? How do you add some rare and protected forms of leverage? Thinking about the David Beckham story, like if you'd have asked me what's the model results on a football club, it's going to come out at 5 out of 40 probably. Like, why would you do it? But David Beckham has tweaked the model. He literally has done what we always say on the podcast and turned that Galaxy, was it LA Galaxy it's called? No?
That was the club he played for.
Yeah, but the one he bought.
Yeah, and the one he started was Inter Miami.
Oh, right. So there's a little story here. So he started one from scratch.
Let me check if it's from scratch, but Inter Miami is brand new.
So no, hang on a sec. Let me just
It was founded in 2018, 8 years ago.
So did he buy LA Galaxy for
No, he made a contract with MLS that he could build an expansion team or basically start a separate team to LA Galaxy.
Fine.
I think he needed to operate within the team of LA Galaxy
Got it.
to understand
So
MLS.
That's even more impressive. He started something from scratch.
Yeah, David Beckham, co-founder.
Well done, Mr. Beckham. It's even more impressive. But what I'm trying to say there is he's tweaked the model using rare and protected forms of leverage to stack what if Michael Chudley and James Sinclair started a football club in America?
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
It'd be 0, wouldn't it? We wouldn't have.
No.
We would have 0 chance.
Less than 0, yeah.
It was David Beckham and a group of investors.
There
obviously.
We go. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, is access to capital is, David Beckham's a man that can just pick up the phone and go, do you want to put 10 million into this? Do you want to put 10 million into this? He could probably raise 100 million quid in a week. Crackers, that's what it is. Rare and protected forms of leverage is how we get ahead in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much for listening to the business broadcast. Now, you did hear me quiver earlier about the Accelerator program. If you're an entrepreneur and business owner and you'd like us to help you grow your business, you must check out the Accelerator program. All details are on my website, jamessinclair.net. And don't forget to bag yourself a ticket for Business Masterclass as we get ready to tear down the house for a 2-day event to really grow your business. See you in the next one. Goodbye. If you've loved listening to this podcast and you think, oh, that's a bit of me, I've got some challenges and I'd like my business exposed to the tens of thousands of people that listen to this podcast, then good news, Captain, you can apply to come on the podcast. There's an application form. Just check out the podcast description and we'll see you there to help grow your business.